We're used to seeing them coming in maybe one, maybe two losses at most, but this is a team that started off with 3 losses, including a tough one at Michigan Tech and then a tight one at home against then number 12 Indianapolis, and then they continued to struggle against Truman State. But then, in spite of some injuries that we'll talk about with Coach Keys here in a little bit, get wins over Missouri S&T. They upset then number 12 Tiffin 24-21 and controlled a Walsh team 20-3. But then last week at home against Lake Erie struggled something fierce, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and dropped a 33-14 decision to the Lake Erie College Storm. Compare these teams. You heard Ron talk about it in the opening there. The Oilers on top of the GMAC, 3-0 in conference play, 5-2 overall. Hillsdale comes in 3-4 overall, 2-1 in conference play. Oilers averaging just over 30 points a game. Hillsdale right exactly at 23. Oilers giving up just over 27, while Hillsdale is giving up 25. Take a look at some of the other numbers, and they're somewhat comparable. Oilers, one of the best rushing teams, not just in the GMAC, but in the country, 213 yards a game on the ground. It's been a bit of a struggle, which is unusual for Hillsdale, 117 yards a game on the ground. Meanwhile, Oilers have been very stingy against the run, giving up just 129. Hillsdale's done a pretty good job there as well, and later we'll talk about their front seven on defense, very strong there, as they're only giving up about 145. Passing yardage, Oilers 240. That's been on a steady rise over these last several games for Matt Winsler. Meanwhile, the Hillsdale, after losing their first 2 quarterbacks and several of their receivers, struggling in the passing game at just 143 a game. Meanwhile, they give up 254 on the backside. Oilers giving up around 300 on the backside. So total offense, 453 for the Oilers, just under 454. Meanwhile, Hillsdale, 260, and the Chargers are giving up 400 yards. Oilers giving up 429, but again, that number's been on the steady decline for Findlay over the last several games as that defense is building some confidence and building some continuity back there, and that certainly showed in last week's matchup at Ohio Dominican, where the Oilers come away with the overtime victory over the Panthers, 21-14. We're going to go ahead and take a time out, and we're going to come back. We'll hear from Rob Keys, get his take on last week and this week as we get ready for Oilers and the Chargers here on 88.3 WLFC.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself. The rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Why do you want to go to college? To become something more? To find your line and go beyond it? To make someone's life better? To start on a path to a productive career? That's why the University of Findlay is here. Since 1882, a community of passionate learners, inspiring the best in each other.
Sounds good.
As the Oiler Marching Band performs our national anthem.
I don't know. They sleeping.
Would you please remain standing for our University of Findlay alma mater?
I'm number one in everyone's hearts. They come like in.
Things going between the Chargers and the Oilers, and then after the coin toss, the Hillsdale Chargers will be receiving the opening kickoff. So we'll see that offense that's going to be led by its third-string quarterback Garrett Clark out of Luxembourg, Wisconsin. Started the season as third string, but as Coach said, got him that win over Tiffin. 5 games played overall, 29 of 63, as we said, 293 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Across his line from left to right, and it's always a big offensive line for the Chargers. Ben Gino, the 6'4", 274 sophomore, the left guard, Nick Affolter, the redshirt freshman, 6'3", 327. The center, Jack McCarthy, 6'2", 270. Affolter, that's the brother Ben, also a redshirt freshman, as they are twins, 6'3", 313. And then that right tackle, the 6'5", 294-pound senior in Cole Johnson. The wideouts, Tesla and Williams. We'll also see a halfback, Alex Foose, who will catch a few balls here and there, and then keep an eye on the tight end, Will Conrad, although he's been off to a slow start in this offense. The running back, Jack Robinson, the redshirt freshman, 6', 194-pounder out of Chardon, Ohio, 114 rushes, 421 rushing yards. He does have 4 touchdowns for the Chargers as well. Oilers just about ready to kick it away. The other side of the ball, Reggie Michaud at one defensive end. The other defensive end, Irvin Basinji, one of the best in the country at tackles for loss and sacks. Then the two defensive tackles, Dalton Rockhold on one side, Charles Omame on the other. And then, as we've talked about before, we'll see a whole host of other guys rotating in and out through there. The linebackers, Trombetti, Bransford, the two in the middle. Then that star position, Marquise Stokes. At the corners, expect Shamar Watson and Brendan Perry. And then the two safeties, Caldwell and Harris. All right, Snyder prepares to kick it away. Oilers wearing those homestanding black uniforms, helmets with orange letters, numerals, and trim. And the kickoff soars all the way back inside the 5 to the 2. And looking to bounce it to the outside and gets it right about back to the 20-yard line. That's where the Chargers will start 1st and 10. Hillsdale wearing those visiting white uniforms, blue helmets, letters, and numerals, and just the least little bit of black trim around the numbers. So 1st and 10 for the Chargers here. Open up with a wide out to the near side. Couple tight ends in there. One back behind. Eisen under center. Bring the receiver in motion. Handoff up the middle. And not much there. We talked about it in the open. The Oilers have been very stingy against the run this year. It's been one of the strengths of this defense. And again, a lot of that goes to that front 4 who just tend to occupy the line of scrimmage. Give them a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. One wide out to each side. Eisen again under center with that deep tailback. Move the tight end in motion from right to left and then sliding back. Eisen drops, looks, pressured, and is going to get back to the line of scrimmage, it appears. It might be a sack. If it is, it's about a half-yard loss. Got tripped up from behind. Good pressure right off the snap by the Oilers. Scoreboard says 3rd and 7. We'll go with it. They'll spread it out now, will the Chargers. 3 receivers to the near side, single receiver up top. Drop Eisen back into a gun, put the back to his left on 3rd and long. Oilers walking up pressure on the near side. Back, Eisen lets it fly and overthrows it. His receiver cut it off right at the sticks. He basically ran a sticks route, and Eisen was expecting the fly, and it's 3 and out for the Chargers. That's a good start for this defense, building on easily their best performance of the year a week ago at Ohio Dominican in the overtime victory. Tanner Schrader back at his own 35, looking to field this kick. Breeze is largely across the field, west to east, but it is turning back and forth a little bit. Matter of fact, right now it goes right into the punter's face. Line drive kick. Going to be a chance to return it here for Schrader. Finds a little seam, gets to the 40, and then is pushed back. About a 5-yard return. Good coverage by the Chargers. Coach talked about it. Hillsdale is always sound in every aspect of the game. Doesn't mean they're always spectacular, doesn't mean they're always great, but they always do the little things right and do them well. Keith Otterbein, one of the most respected coaches in the country, really, but most especially in Division II. Wide out to each side, slot a man on the top. Play action fake. Winsler rolls out to his right, throws, completes it to Flowers. Flowers tries to break a tackle, but a good tackle in space by Mason Dooley. But an 8-yard pickup for the Oilers sets up a 2nd and 2. Oilers switch out some personnel, bring in Schrader. Him and Marlon Richardson will come to the near side. Flowers stays out at the top of the formation by himself. Put that blocking fullback in there. And a back, both to the left of Winsler. The give to Lynch. Lynch finds a room. 1st down, bounces it to the outside. He's at the 30 before being pushed out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it. But a nice job of the right side of that line. Got a kick-out block right at the point of attack. I believe that was Eubanks, along with the right tackle. And then Derek used his feet to do the rest. Top back in the GMAC. 1st and 10, and right at the 30-yard line of the Chargers. Oilers' first drive of the game. And looking to put points on the board. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Winsler, quick slant, complete to Schrader. They're going to give him forward progress inside the 25, close to the 23. Brings up a second, long 3, short 4. Coach talked about it in the pregame interview. Winsler, the last few games, really elevating his play. Looks so confident and so in control of the entire offense. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Lynch stays as the back in. He'll get the handoff. And a little delay, then bounces it outside, cuts it back in to get the first down before being driven back at about the 18 of the Chargers. That one had a little bit of a draw counter action to it. Switch out backs, bring in Garrett Clark. Of course, last year's freshman of the year in the GMAC in that shortened spring season. Garrett, 65 rushes, 392 yards, 4 touchdowns on the season, averaging 6 yards a carry. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. That blocking fullback up in front. Fake the give, throw it out to Rubin and in space. And still fighting along the sideline, and he was kind of tiptoeing along there. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like they're going to take it inside the 10-yard line. No, right on the 10-yard line. So 2nd and 1 here after the 9-yard pickup. So Oilers playing the quick game here, trying to mitigate that front 7 of the Chargers, who are very good. We'll try to talk about them here maybe after this play. 2nd and 1, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Clark still the back in there. The give to Garrett. And he's going to have first down yardage and bring it back close to the 5-yard line. Talk about that front 7. When you talk about Royer and Chambers, the 2 defensive tackles, all conference performers. Chambers first team, 3rd team for Royer. And then Tobin and Perrin are just 2 big masses out there that really control the ends. And that allows both Kyle Kudla and Alex Anschutz to kind of fill and gap as they see fit. But this quick game by Findlay has kept them on their heels. 1 wide out to each side, tight end in there along with the fullback. Fake the give, throw the check, bounces around and is incomplete. Was looking for Marlon Richardson. And you know Marlon is just chomping at the bit. He's one of only 2 of the top 20 receivers in the nation in Division II who doesn't have a touchdown catch. And that's not a stat you'd like to be on, obviously. Exactly 10 minutes left. Oilers looking at 2nd and goal from that 5-yard line. Flowers to the right, Richardson to the left, Riggerman on the left end of the line. Clark stays in the backfield. He'll get the handoff. Looks to pick his way, spins, drives forward and breaks the plane. Got a little help as a couple of his offensive linemen came and helped ruck him over. And the Oilers on the board first, 6-0 with an extra point attempt coming up. Very workmanlike drive, nice balance of the run and the pass. Clark finds the end zone for the 5th time this season. Snyder on for the extra point. Snap, spot, kick is up and good. 9:55 left in the first quarter. Oilers lead the Chargers 7-0. Back in a moment on 88.3 WLFC. Oh, feeling like I got a bit of a rhythm.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself, the rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Welcome back out to Donnell Stadium. Oilers draw first blood 7-0 here in this contest. One of 4 GMAC contests today. Also starting at noon was Ohio Dominican and Walsh. And the Panthers have a 7-0 lead in that one as well. 1 o'clock games will have Kentucky Wesleyan playing host to Tiffin, and Ashland hosting the Lake Erie College Storm, fresh off their victory over this Charger team. And last drive, 8 plays, 60 yards, and a 5-yard touchdown run by Clark. And the kickoff will sail into the end zone, be touched back there, and bring it on out. Brings it out, of course, to the 25, where it'll be 1st and 10. 3 minutes and 36 seconds on that opening drive. Matt Winsler, 3 of 4, 24 yards. Derek Lynch, 2 carries for 27, and Clark, 2 for 9. Here come the Chargers. Eisen in the gun. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 at the top. Oilers show pressure right up the middle, and they'll bring it. Handoff is faked, and did the ball come loose? Or that was kind of a funky-looking screen. They tried flaring it out here on the near side, but the Oilers had so much traffic, it ended up bouncing off of one of the Oiler defenders. Alex Foos was the intended target, the halfback. But that pressure by the Oilers completely messed that up from the snap. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. 4 receiver package, 3 to the near side, 1 up top. Tisla, though, a single receiver on the top of the formation. Handoff, trying to get the corner turn, does, and then lowers the shoulder. And that's a new back in there. Joseph Hissam, redshirt freshman. Or excuse me, that's actually a senior, 5'9" senior. He gets about 4 yards on the play, brings up a 3rd down and 6, but he brings a little bit of power and size there at that 231, like a bowling ball with legs. 2 to the near side, 1 up top, slotted tight end, moves in motion. Rolling to the 2 receiver side, looking is Eisen, sets his feet, throws, and it is going to be a catch, and it is enough for a 1st down across the 35. Out to the 36. Nice job by Foos to just go out and sit down in the soft spot. That was definitely a problem for the Oilers through the first 3-4 weeks of the season. It has gotten better in recent weeks. First down of the game for the Chargers. Go with that big formation, a couple of tight ends in there, just the one wide out. Pitch comes to the near side, finds a seam and bounces it to the outside. That's Jack Robinson, the redshirt freshman out of Chardon, and he picks up 9. They just had overload on this near side, and there were more bodies than the Oilers could get out of the way to make a play. Little old school, line them up and knock them back football there. Go with the same formation again. Under center, Eisen on 2nd and 1. Long count. Handoff. And Robinson sort of picks his way and gets the 1st down out to the Charger 48-yard line.
Good job by Caldwell on the stop. Gain to the Hillsdale 48-yard line, 1st down.
1st and 10. This time a wide out to each side. Still have a tight end on each end of the line. Drop back into the gun for Eisen with the back to his right. Bring that top receiver in motion. Fake the handoff. Rolling near side looking. A good route and breaks a couple of tackles and turns it up for more. Does Tesla. Redshirt freshman out of Hudsonville. He just ran off the defensive back and then turned back in. A good throw by Eisen. And he broke a tackle right at the point of attack and made the play. Shamar Watson in coverage on this near side. Rotate the formations again. Trips strung to the left of Eisen in the gun with Robinson to his right. Oilers show pressure on the top of the formation. That'll make Eisen check off. And they'll change up the play. And I think we're going to get a timeout. Chargers saw that clock running down. Keith Otterbein wants to talk it over. 6:49 left in the first. Oilers on top 7-0, but the Chargers threatening. Back in a moment on WLFC.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Welcome back out to Donnell Stadium out of the timeout. Go 2 receivers to the near side, 1 up top with a tight end in motion. The give to Robinson, and initially tripped up and then finished off. Loss of about a half yard as the Oilers rally to the football nicely there. I think that was Trombetti who's going to get credit for the stop. Call it 2nd and 11. Tesla out to the top. Austin Williams inside of him. Slotted tight end on the near side. Back to throw is Eisen. Flush from the pockets. Got a little running room, but he'll be brought down after a pickup of 4, maybe 5. Stokes from that star backer position leads the effort to bring him down. So we call it 3rd and 7, but this might be 4-down territory for the Chargers. We'll see. Bring in a new back, Evan McGee, the sophomore. Put him to the right. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Bring 1 in motion from the top to make it 2 to the right. Straight drop by Eisen. Has time, throws the quick slant, tipped up, but then caught by the Chargers. Boy, tough break that time for the Oilers. Broke on the football, knocked it up in the air, but the only person left to make the play was the Hillsdale receiver. And he did, and it's enough for a 1st down. Just a little unlucky that time for the Oilers. One wide out at each side, a couple of tight ends in there. Oilers showing pressure up the middle, then back out of it. Hand off to Robinson. Oilers again stretch it out and drop it. Look like Trombetti, Stokes, amongst others. Logan Spire in on that tackle. Oilers continue to rotate that defensive front. Reggie Michaud back in for the orange and black. 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Stack a couple of tight ends on the left end of the line as well. Quick little throw, complete to Robinson. Makes the first man miss, but he won't make the rest miss. And spinning him around and bringing him down was Trombetti. Caldwell was the first man there and made him kind of bounce right into the hands of Trombetti. So 3rd and 10. After little to no gain. Twin receivers on each side of the formation. Rolling to his left is Eisen. Throws end zone, touchdown. I tell you, that's impressive throw by Eisen. Rolling to his left. Coverage was there, but the position was held by the Charger receiver. And we're an extra point away from tying this one up. So bring on the place kicker, Julian Lee, redshirt freshman out of White Lake, Michigan. Snap is back, spot is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 3:31 left in the first, tied up at 7 between Findlay and Hillsdale. Back in a moment on WLFC.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Thank you. Send back 2 to field this kick. Lynch and Clark, it appears. And Lee preparing to put the foot to it. Wind turns a little bit into his face here. High, short kick's going to be fielded right at the 10. And Lynch bursts the speed across the 30 and then out of bounds. Good return. About 20 yards. And the Oilers will go 1st and 10 from there. So see what the Oiler offense comes back with on their second possession here. 3:27 left in the first. Tied up at 7 apiece. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Winsler back. Has time, steps up, throws, intercepted. Just kind of floated up there and never really breaking back towards the ball was Jacob Brown. Kind of just floated out there, and the defender just made a break on the ball and the receiver didn't. So Hillsdale now, after the turnover, you heard Coach, and he talks about it every week, that turnover margin. Oilers, after last week, got it back to 0 on the season. Now they find themselves -1 on the season and in the game. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Eisen puts a tight end in motion. Wants to throw the screen, not there. Now pumps, looks long, and intercepted back the other way by Findlay. Nice job of rolling it over the top for Findlay. I believe that was Johnny Harris with the pick. Goes up vertical and takes it right back. So the teams exchange interceptions. Now the Oilers will be back at their own 4-yard line now. But a nice job by the Oiler defense taking it back and even up the turnover battle. Tanner Schrader goes out to the right. Oilers showing a tight formation here with a couple of tight ends. Handoff. Bounces it, does Lynch. Takes it across the 10, and it's finally going to be bulldogged down close to the 20-yard line. Spotted at the 19. More than enough for an Oiler first down, and gives them some breathing room now. Flowers will come split to the near side. Richardson to the top, along with Tanner Schrader. 3-receiver package. Lynch stays in the backfield. Fake the give, throw the quick out, and it got batted at the line of scrimmage. That might have been, trying to double check the number. I think it might have been Max Torbert who got his hands up there and got a piece of that one. Flowers was open out here in the flat and would have had a first down and then whatever he could get with his feet after. Right now, those 2nd and 10. 2 receivers to the near side, bring Tanner Schrader in motion through the backfield. The give to Lynch. Lynch cuts it out, then breaks the tackle, spins, and has another Oiler first down out near the 35. Spot him down at the 34. Oilers gashing them for runs right now in the middle. Good job by Matt that time to read that one and give it up. It was that RPO. Richardson and Schrader go right. Flowers comes left. Clock running, 2:10 left in the first quarter here. Tied up at 7 between Findlay and Hillsdale. Quick little throw, complete. Flowers and fights off a tackler before being escorted out at the 41. 6-yard pickup, actually 7-yard pickup. Brings up a 2nd and 3. Two to the right, one to the left are the receivers. Clark in there in the backfield. Play action fake, rolling Winsler. Now he's just going to tuck it. He's going to get the first down and get out of bounds. Coach talked about how Matt's been adding in the element of his feet. And there you see it. Didn't have an open receiver. Pulled the ball down, used his feet to get the first down and extend the drive. First and 10 at their own 48 for Findlay. Handoff goes to Clark. Bounces it to the outside with a stiff arm and then spins across the midfield stripe into the Charger 48. Second and 7 coming up for Findlay. Stay with the same package. Flowers to the left, Schrader and Richardson to the right. Clark in the backfield to the left of a pistol formation Winsler. Got a blocking tight end up. Floats that one, and again, that might have been deflected at the line of scrimmage. That might have been Chambers got his hand on that one and sent it high. But there's also good coverage out there with both Gillick out here and Herzog. Gillick tied for 2nd in Division II with 5 interceptions this season, including 3 that he had against Walsh back on the 9th of the month. And I believe he's the one who picked the one earlier. 3rd and 7. Bring Schrader in motion into the backfield. The give to Clark. Clark bounces off a couple of would-be tacklers, drives. Going to depend on the spot, but it looks like it's going to be about a yard shy. He kind of tried to extend the ball as he was going down, but the officials didn't give him the extra. So put it at the nose, right at the 42. They need to get to the 43. So 4th and 1, and the Oilers will line up. Winsler will go under center. And Winsler pushes that whole thing forward. Did this get whistled down before it got going? He easily had the first down. No, the quarter ended before the Oilers could run the play. So after one quarter play, tied up at 7 between Findlay and Hillsdale. Back in a moment on WLFC.
Why do you want to go to college? To become something more? To find your line and go beyond it? To make someone's life better? To start on a path to a productive career? That's why the University of Findlay is here. Since 1882, a community of passionate learners, inspiring the best in each other.
UFTV is your university and community TV station.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, We need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Welcome back out to Donnell Stadium, and out of the timeout, Oilers run the exact same play, but and it had pretty much the exact same result, but the official comes in on the near side and says Oilers had a little bit of early movement, so now all of a sudden this becomes 4th and 6, and I think we're going to see one of those Matt Winsler Pooch Punts. Oilers have done a very good job this season of avoiding penalty problems, but right there is an unfortunately timed one. Oilers go back into that pistol formation, but again, a lot of times we see them pooch out of this, and that's what's going to happen. Winsler is practically one of the best punters in the country. Doesn't get as much of a roll on this one, but it does settle down inside the 15 at the 14. That's where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Chargers. So here comes that Hillsdale offense. They're going to try to break the tie. Meanwhile, with just about a minute left in the first quarter, Ohio Dominican leads Walsh 21-0. Chargers go 3 receivers to the right. Eisen rolls that way. Looks, throws to the check down, the short man underneath, and then he turns it up for extra yardage across the 20-yard line. Well executed. He looked downfield first and then just worked his way back in. So Coach talked about it. You look at this young man's high school film, and again, he got that win against Tiffin. He's been impressive at times, just struggled in others. One wide out to each side, tight end on each end. Fake the handoff, quick throw, complete. First down yardage and more. Breaks the tackle across midfield. It's going to be a foot race, and it looks like the Chargers are going to win it. Touchdown Hillsdale. Tesla with the catch and the run, and the Oilers have been eaten up by that quick slant this entire season. And it's the Chargers, the underdogs, who now move into the lead, 13-7 with an extra point pending. Bring on Lee. Snap back, spot down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 14:09 left in the first half. Chargers lead at 14-7. Back in a moment on WLFC.
Why do you want to go to college? To become something more? To find your line and go beyond it? To make someone's life better? To start on a path to a productive career? That's why the University of Findlay is here. Since 1882, a community of passionate learners, inspiring the best in each other.
UFTV is your university and community TV station.
Tesla caps off a 2-play 86-yard drive, took just 40 seconds. And the Oilers find themselves trailing for the first time in this game. We talked about resilience with Coach last week. Well, they're going to have to be a little resilient here. Get ready to field the kick. Clark and Lynch back. High spinner, fielded at about the 8. Lynch looking for a seam, goes out to the far side, takes it across the 25 and out near the 30-yard line. We'll see where the officials say he officially went out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be the 27. First and 10 now for Findlay. Oilers will bring Lynch as a wide out to the near side along with Schrader and Richardson. Now bring Derek back into the backfield from that middle receiver position. He'll take the handoff, and he'll push it out close to the 30-yard line, give him the 30-yard line. 3-yard pickup, 2nd and 7 coming up. Switch out some personnel, bring in Eubanks as that blocking fullback. He'll line up and to the right. Richardson on one side, Flowers on the other are the receivers. Straight drop by Winsler. Throws complete to Marlon. He breaks a tackle and will drag 3 other Chargers across the 40 and out to the 42. And that's where it'll be 1st and 10 for Findlay. Good looking ball that time off the hand of Matt Winsler. Eubanks comes back out. Schrader goes back in. Jacob Brown will come split to the near side. Going opposite him will be Schrader and Richardson. Handoff. And not much there that time. Derek's been gashing some pretty sizable runs, that time limited to just 1. He'll check out. Clark will come back in on 2nd and 9. Stay with 1 receiver. I'm going to check that. 3 receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the near side. Again, on the top, it's Schrader and Richardson. Flowers on the near side. Fake the give to Clark. Throw on the flat, complete to Schrader. He's got first down yardage and more up the sideline and takes it all the way to about the 35 of the Chargers before going out of bounds. I think they're going to spot him officially at the 34, or 36, excuse me. 1st and 10 Oilers. Clock continues to move. 12 minutes left here in the first half. Hillsdale on top 14-7, but now the Oilers threatening back the other way. 2 receivers and Riggerman. Now they'll bring Jacob Brown all the way across. So all 3 receivers to the right plus Riggerman in that slot position. Fake the give to Clark, throw it out in the flat to Riggerman, and the Chargers were ready for that. They had 3 Hillsdale defenders all right in the area there. Herzog came flying up from the safety position along with Anschutz at the linebacker, and there was no place for Mike to go. Did well to get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Two receivers to the left. Play action fake, and again, knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Going up and getting vertical was the linebacker Anschutz. Second team all GMAC last spring. 75 tackles on the season. That's second best in the GMAC. Realized he wasn't going to get to Winsler and just jumped up and knocked that one down. That's completed. It might end up in the end zone as there was nobody out there. 3rd and 10 now for Findlay. Winsler throws. Oh, good hit. Schrader went up, and then coming through was Herzog, the safety, and went right through the arms of Schrader to knock it out of his hands. A little bit off mark, but probably should have been caught. Tanner just wasn't able to get it back to his body before the contact. So 4th and 10 from the 36. Winsler's going to pooch it again. Lifts it up there, hop, skip, roll. Are they able to bat it down before it crossed the end line? The official says yes, inside the 5. Kyle Neerman out of the Sports Information Department talked about how he put in Winsler's name for Special Teams Player of the Week consideration, but no love for the quarterback. So the Oilers got him backed up, but still find themselves trailing 14-7. 1st and 10. One wide out to each side. Again, move that tight end across the line. Hand off, and not much there. Going to give Robinson maybe back to the line of scrimmage, no more than that. 2nd and 10 from that same spot. Same formation, wide out to each side. This time, Eisen goes under center. Pitches it to Robinson, who finds a seam and a bit of a block. Breaks a tackle, loose ball on the turf, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Chargers. Oilers knocked the ball loose, just weren't able to come up with it. Good hard running by Robinson, although Keith Otterbein certainly going to say something about securing the football. But it works out with no harm to the Chargers, as it skipped out of bounds at the 17. More than enough for a first down. Now they'll spread it out a little bit. 2 receivers to one side, single on the near. Fake and roll to the top side. Eisen pressured, throws. Did he get his foot in? Yes, he did. Tell you what, Eisen's shown a little something here. He was being pursued hard and threw an absolute laser. And his receiver, Austin Williams, did a nice job of holding on to it and making sure he got a foot down. Five-yard pickup, 2nd and 5. Bring both receivers to the near side, tight end on each end of the line. Fake the give, throw it over the top, wide open. And upended right near midfield. That time they go with Michael Harding, the sophomore tight end out of Livonia, Michigan. And again, nobody whatsoever picked him up off of the line, and he was just running wide open. Talked about it on the previous touchdown. Those slants and crosses have been eating the Oilers up. 1st and 10 at the Oiler 48. This drive started at their own 4. 2 receivers to each side. Long snap count. Got to 0. Did they call the timeout before, or is it going to be the delay of game? Delay of game is what it will be. Eisen has flirted with it a couple of times. That time gets burned. Oilers switched out some of that defensive line personnel. 1st and 15, back at their own 47. 2 to the near side, 1 up top. Now bring the outside receiver in motion. Play action, rolls to the top of the formation, throws. Wide open again is Williams. Got back the penalty yardage plus another 4. Brings up a 2nd down and 6. Chargers taking their time. Clock continues to move. 7:30 left. They lead it 14-7. Oilers got on the board first, but 2 touchdowns by the Chargers have so far been unanswered, and they're looking to add on to that total. Handoff in the backfield, and Oilers initially had him drop or stop for a loss, but he kept his feet moving and gets a couple of positive yards. Sets up a 3rd down and 3. Oilers again will rotate some personnel on that defensive front. Couple of receivers tied to the formation on the near side, 1 out wide to the right. That should be a penalty, procedure call. For early start, that was Williams. Actually, both Williams got an early start on that one, and so did Will Hefner. Or excuse me, Nathan LaFree. So now it becomes 3rd and 8. Same formation, stack 2 receivers tied to the formation on the near side, string 1 out to the right. Bring the tight end in motion from right to left. Play action. Looks, has time, throws, and again the big tight end left open, and he has enough for a first down. Harding again. He was lined up out here on the outside, worked his way out, and then all the way across the field. Give that offensive line credit for holding off the Trojan defense to give Ison time to find him. Two to the left, slot a man on the top, now bring him in motion. Handoff, Robinson, and held to a 1-yard pickup. Good work right at the line of scrimmage by the Oilers. Gray Bransford comes up from his linebacker position to fill. 2nd and 9. Going under center is Ison with a back deep behind. And this gets whistled down and another false start against the Chargers. Going to turn this into 2nd and 14. This time they say Tesla was the one moving early. Tesla goes out wide to the right. 2 receivers come wide to the near side. Foose the outside. Now he goes in motion across, so it's 2 to the top. Back is Ison again, has plenty of time. Now he breaks the pocket, throws back to the middle, complete, and has another first down. So again, that offensive line finding more and more time. We saw the Oilers on the first couple series were getting pretty steady pressure, but not so much in the last few drives. Moving the sticks again is the Chargers. Coach talked about not letting them have confidence, but looks like that's happening. Fake the handoff, throw it out, complete. Going to be brought down immediately, but picked up 4 or 5 yards already, did Tesla. Watson on the tackle. Second and 5 at the Oiler 19. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Tight end on the left end of the line. From the pistol, Oilers show pressure on the near side end here. And Ison just goes ahead and turns it up himself. That was a straight quarterback run all the way. Gets about a yard to the 18, brings up a 3rd down and 4. Bring back in that big tight end, Harding. He goes to the left end of the line, along with Austin Williams wide to that side. Robinson to the left. 2 other receivers go to the right. Ison back, looks, throws through the hands, and one of the Oiler defenders had a chance at that, but quickly fell to the ground. Incomplete, and a 4th down opportunity. And they'll bring on the place kicker Lee to try the field goal. So it's going to get spotted down right at the 25. So a 35-yard attempt Again, the breeze going across from his left to his right and just slightly in his face. Now it shifts to his back. Kick is up. It's got the distance, but it's no good. Pushed it out to the right. So the Oiler defense gives up some yardage, but does not give up any more points. 2:48 left. The Oiler offense will come back onto the field. So bring back out the Oiler offense. And they'll try to tie this one up before the end of the half. 2:47 until then. Two to the top, one to the near side for Winsler. Now Winsler goes up to the line with an audible. Moves his back over to his right. The give to Derek Lynch. And Hillsdale has made an adjustment. I'm not sure what it is, but they have done a much better job here against the run in the second quarter. Pick up a yard for Derek. Brings up 2nd and 9. Richardson to one side. Flowers to the other. Lynch stays in the backfield to the right of Winsler. Play action, throws it over the top, and two different routes. Winsler was expecting Rubin to run that deeper than what he did. And it goes incomplete. Now the Oilers looking at a 3rd and 9 from deep in their own territory. Coming up at the half, we'll get the stat recap, scoring recap, and also just taking her seat here next to me, Brandy Larita, Director of Athletics for the University of Findlay. We'll talk to her as well. Big 3rd down here for this Oiler defense with 2:07 left in the half. Pressure comes, blitz. Winsler avoids it, rolls out to the near side, looks, throws it to Tanner Schrader, completes it across midfield, and then forced out of bounds inside the 45 of the Chargers at the 44. How about Matt Winsler with his feet there? Blitz came off unchecked on the near side. He ducked around it, then his offensive line regrouped and gave him a seam to bounce it to his right, and Tanner kept working for his quarterback, and a good throw by Matt moves the sticks and puts the Oilers into Charger territory. Clock is stopped at 1:58 after he got out of bounds. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Handoff faked and then went to throw it and got upended as he went to throw it back to Derek after the play action. Second down and 10. Bring Eubanks, the blocking fullback, in. Oilers have all 3 timeouts remaining. Chargers have 2. Oilers go one wide out each side. Fake the give. Throw out in the flat. Nice catch by Richardson. And then he scampers out of bounds inside the 25. Matt threw that where only Marlon could catch it, as there were 2 defenders in the neighborhood. Moves the sticks again, rotate the personnel. Ruben Flowers goes out to the left. Schrader back in there with Marlon on the right side of the formation this time. Riggerman in the backfield. Lynch to the left of Winsler. They'll give it to Derek. He'll take it to his left. Bounces and skips his way out near the 20-yard line. Herzog, the safety, that forces him out of bounds. But a pickup of 5 brings up 2nd and 5. Garrett Clark checks in to replace Derek. Flowers will split to the right side of the formation. This is the wide side of the field. Marlon and Tanner to the left. Now bring Tanner in motion through the backfield. Hand off to Garrett, and not a lot there, a yard to the 20. Oilers trying to work the clock and also find the end zone here. Keep in mind, Findlay will receive the second half kickoff. Right now, 3rd and 4 is the biggest pending issue. 4 receivers set this time, 2 to each side. Back Winsler. Lets it fly. End zone and overthrew his target. Was looking for Flowers. And again, that was one of those where Matt is throwing to a spot. The question is where they're looking each direction. And the Oilers will bring out the field goal team here to try to cut the lead to just 4. This will be spotted down at the 27, so a 37-yard attempt. Wind slightly in his face. Spot is down, the kick is up, has the distance. And it is through the uprights. Good to see Austin after last week's kick that doinked off the right upright. Get that one right down the middle. And with 56 seconds left, Oilers trail 14-10. Keep it here with just 56 seconds left. Now we'll see how the Oilers decide to play the kickoff here. We'll be talking everything Oiler athletics here in a little bit with Brandy Larita. It's always good to see. It doesn't matter what the sport is. When the Oilers win at the expense of the Dragons, it is always a good thing. And I know my friends in Tiffin, and there's only a few, do not like it when I say that. But the true reality is they feel the opposite way. So that last drive, 9 plays, 60 yards, took 1 minute and 52 seconds. 42-yard field goal. That's what it'll officially go down is. High, short, Poocher. Fair catch is called and made right at the 30. And I'm not sure exactly what anybody was thinking there. And Marquise Stokes came up and just hit the return guy who had killed. And now all of a sudden, Hillsdale, who very well might have been thinking about just taking a knee and getting to the half with a 4-point lead, is now going to move this from the 30 up to the 45. I agree that it's a penalty, but it's not kick-catch interference. That ball was long since caught. What it is unnecessary roughness. It's going to work itself out to the same penalty, as now all of a sudden the Chargers have it at their own 45 with 56 seconds left and 2 timeouts. Second mental error that greatly cost the Oilers in this first half. Two to the near side, 1 up top. Oilers shuffle that defensive front. Move a man in motion across the formation. Eisen, straight drop. Has all the time in the world. Now he's going to be flush, and he's going to get rid of it just before being ripped down from behind. Irvin Basinji in the backfield ends up going as an incompletion. 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10. Now the Oilers only brought 3 that time, but don't like to see a quarterback have that much time no matter who he is. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Move that tight end in motion and send him back. Play action, rolling, Eisen, airing it out, looking long. And we're going to get pass interference against the Oilers. Here's the thing, neither the receiver nor the defender had any clue where the football was, and they were both spinning and turning and bounced into each other multiple times. And this is going to work against the Oilers, but that's just unlucky. Well, they're going to get Gray Branson for it, but I don't think that was Gray who was the guilty party. I'm pretty sure the guilty party for the Oilers was Rashad Craig. 24, not 44, but either way, it takes it to the Oiler 40-yard line. Still 42 seconds left. Hillsdale on top of Findlay, 14-10. Oilers got to keep the damage right where it's at. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Flop the back from left to right. Play action. Irvin Basenji trying to chase him down. He's going to get rid of the ball. Good job by Eisen, but Irvin looking like Irvin again, getting in the backfield and wreaking havoc there. Jonna Caldwell was in the neighborhood of the receiver that never really had a chance there. 2nd and 10 because of the pressure. Let's see if Coach Reb turns up the heat here a little bit. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Oilers with 4 down linemen. Eisen back and going down. He's going to be sacked in the backfield. Big hit put on by Dalton Rockhold. And he just kind of clubbed down the quarterback that time. Big Dalton, 6'4", 255, but plays more like 285 with his size and power. Timeout on the field. So let's talk a little bit about that volleyball last night. Always, like as I said, when the Oilers beat the Dragons.
You know, we played very well last night. I was expecting a win. I wasn't expecting such a dominant.
Why do you want to go to college? To become something more? To find your line and go beyond it? To make someone's life better? To start on a path to a productive career? That's why the University of Findlay is here. Since 1882, a community of passionate learners, inspiring the best in each other.
Tiffin kind of unceremoniously ended the season last year for the Oilers in the postseason. So to get that bounce back, and you talk about Journey Blevins. Now there's a lot of great players on that front for Coach Wick, but Journey Blevins just seems to be other level. No kidding. All right, 3rd down and 15. 2 receivers to the top, single on the near side, and move that tight end. Rolling that way is Eisen, pressured. He's going to be brought down for another sack. Back-to-back sacks for the Oiler defense. Marquise Stokes kind of gets the play coming back the other way. He had the mental error on the special teams, but comes up with the big one there. And now a 4th down and about 16. And the Oilers are going to take the timeout here to try to set up for a return with 24 seconds left here. And women's soccer finished strong last night as well.
They did. It was kind of an odd goal they had, a win over Lake Erie, and not our probably best skill game, not being able to dominate in that game, but came away with a win. They're figuring out a way to win just about every game they're in, and so exciting. I'm looking forward to hopefully a long postseason run for them. They've got the potential and the record right now to make that happen.
All right, on 4th down, bring on the punt unit. Send Tanner Schrader back. I think the Oilers are going to bring kitchen sink here and see if they can't get a block punt. That's how they're lined up for certain. Now they back out of it. Set for the return. Angling kick is going to go into the end zone and bring it back out. Speaking of soccer, Zach Lauren on the men's side, player of the week in the GMAC. And they've really been on a strong effort. I mean, it's not been all wins, but they really look solid.
They do. They look good. They're playing hard and playing good, clean soccer. They're really representing us well on the field and off. And I think those wins are starting to come a little bit more with their skills.
So the Oilers are going to have 18 seconds. They do have 2 timeouts remaining. And see how offensive coordinator Corey Allen and Coach Rob Keys attack this. 2 up top, 1 to the near side. Play action. Avoids the pressure. Winsler looks, and he's just going to throw that one away. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about last week. What a big game for this football program. I mean, I mean zero disrespect with this, but there have been multiple times over the last 10 years where I truly believe the Oilers were the better team on paper, man for man. But for some reason, ODU could just get us every single time, and I think a huge mental block maybe finally got removed last week.
I agree. We really struggled there, so I'll let you go back here.
All right. On second down, Winsler flushed, throws the check down, completes it to Schrader. Are the Oilers going to take the timeout? I believe they are. So the Oilers are going to get a shot to try to play something down the field. We'll see what the best trick play Coach Allen has. At least I think that's what we're going to see here with just 2 seconds remaining. But, yeah, as I said, it's kind of a mental block. And even with the way that played out, would you have loved to seen Austin's kick go through? Yeah, we would have loved that. But the fact that the Oilers took that in stride, come out, they lose the coin toss on that, so they have to go first, put it right in the end zone. And then for a defense, which has struggled, and to be honest, is struggling a little bit today in spots, to come up with their finest moment on that drive was huge.
Agreed, and so much excitement, not just from our players, but our staff, really kind of get that monkey off their back. They can do it. I think a lot of those in the last 10 years came down to that, I agree with you, mental block. And so seeing them have that success was bigger than just that.
After the game, Coach Keys finished the interview, and we were talking a little bit, and I said, well, I'm happy for you. And he goes, you have no idea. And then he looked at me and said, oh, no, you have an idea. Never mind. So here we go, the Oilers. They're going to line up 2 out to the top of the formation. Winsler back, steps up, and he's going to be brought down. Just nothing ever opened up. Look down the field. Everybody was covered up, and Matt's going to get sacked, but didn't make a mistake with the football, which is equally important. So an interesting first half of play has the Chargers on top 14-10. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, come back and talk some more with Brandy Larita. You're listening to Oiler Football on WLFC.
Dance with us. We open with a 2014 smash hit by the band Walk on the Moon. So get on your feet and join in with that great dance hit, Shut Up and Dance. Ladies and gentlemen, your University of Findlay Oiler Marching Band. celebration of popular
Music with the music of sensational recording artist Bruno Mars.
Get ready. Here comes the Oiler Marching Band with some Uptown Funk. The members of the Oiler Marching Band would like to welcome to the field a number of area high school students who have spent today seeing firsthand what it means to be an Oiler. These students have attended our 2021 High School Band Day event. Please welcome to Donnell Stadium students from Avon, Cary, Columbia, Defiance, Delta, Eastwood, Evergreen, Genoa, Hardin Northern, Jonathan Alder, Kenton, Lake, Lakota, Liberty Benton, North Baltimore, North Central, North Central Academy, Northwood, Ohio Virtual, Padua Franciscan, Put-in Bay, Riverdale, Sacred Heart, Shawnee, Spencerville, St. Mary's Memorial, Swanton, Upper Sandusky, Van Buren, Van Loo, and Findlay High School. How about a nice round of applause for these outstanding young men and women? Together with the Oiler Marching Band, we all celebrate the return of marching band this year after last year's COVID-19 shutdown. Sing along as we perform the music of the immortal Elton John. Here's I'm Still Standing.
But on the ensuing drive, they answer right back to the Chargers. 12 plays, 75 yards, took just under 6.5 minutes. Capped off with an Ison to Foos 21-yard touchdown pass. The Lee kick had us tied up at 7 apiece. Hillsdale on the next possession put together a 2-play, 86-yard drive, capped off with an 81-yard pitch, catch, and run from Ison to Tesla. The Lee kick had them in front 14-10. Oilers got the ball back late in the half, and with 56 seconds left, put together a 9-play, 60-yard drive that had Snyder finish it with a 42-yard field goal to get us to our numbers of 14-10. Quick look at some other GMAC scores. At the half, it's all ODU on top of the Cavaliers, 35-3. 9:20 left in the first quarter. KWC and Tiffin are scoreless. Meanwhile, 4:19 left in the first quarter. Lake Erie and Ashland knotted up at 7 apiece. Take a look at some more of the numbers in this one. First downs are even at 10 apiece. Rushing yards, Oilers with the advantage there. 14 carries, 92 yards. Hillsdale just 35 yards on 13 carries. Meanwhile, passing, 221 yards for Ison for the Chargers to 118 for Finley, as Hillsdale is 13 of 17, one interception. Finley 9 of 18 with an interception. The passing touchdown for Hillsdale, the difference in those numbers as far as that goes. So total offense, 30 plays for 256 yards for Hillsdale. Oilers 32 plays for 210. Time of possession belongs to the Chargers, 16:32 to 12:32. We mentioned the one turnover in each direction for each team. Some individual numbers. Robinson leading the rushing attack for Hillsdale, 9 carries, 28 yards. Derek Lynch, 8 carries, 67 yards for Finley. Clark, though, has the rushing touchdown for Finley. We mentioned Ison, 13 of 17, 2 touchdowns and an interception for 221 yards. He has been sacked one time. Winsler, 9 of 18. He has an interception, no touchdowns, 118 yards. He also was sacked right there at the end of the first half. Leading receiver is Tesla for the Charger, 106 yards on 3 catches, and one of those for a touchdown. On the other side, Tanner Schrader's 3 catches for 64, pacing the Oiler receivers in this one. Take a quick look at some of the defensive numbers. Herzog with 10 tackles in that first half, 4 more for Nichols and 4 for Burton as well. On the other side, Trombetti, as he's done most of the season, leading the way for the Oilers with 6. Kajana Caldwell, Marquise Stokes, and Shamar Watson all with 1 apiece for the Oilers on the defensive side. Adds up to a 4-point Charger lead. The Oilers will be receiving the second half kickoff. We'll take one last 2-minute timeout. Get you back for the second half kickoff here on 88.3 WLFC. We're good. Thank you. Welcome back out to Donnell Stadium, just about ready to get the second half underway. And the Oilers, as we said, will be receiving that kickoff. Lynch and Clark back deep to field the kick. We'll see what adjustments the Oilers have made. Talked about it in the first half. Oilers have done a great job this season of making halftime adjustments and seeing immediate results out of it. Offensively, they have moved the ball, just haven't been able to finish some drives. Remember, they had the one where they went for it on fourth down and converted it. The only problem was, well, they actually did it 2 times in a row, but the one, they weren't able to run the play before the end of the half, so it negated what would have been a first down. And then they tried it in the beginning of the second quarter, and a procedure call, a false start, wiped it out the second time. Otherwise, we might be talking about a completely different situation. The game have to hold it because of the wind, will the Chargers. Kickoff fielded at the 8 over on the far side. Looks to bring it along the sideline. Finds a seam up the sideline across the 40. Brings it back towards the middle. He's at the 40. He's got a couple of men to beat here, and he's going to be finally bulldogged down around the 21-yard line of the Chargers. Derek Lynch with the phenomenal return will set the Oilers up with incredible field position to start the second half. Derek got on that sideline, got a couple of seal blocks, then brought it to the middle, and just able to get him from behind was one of the Chargers. But they'll spot it at the 22 of Hillsdale. Riggerman will line up as the inside at 2 receivers, Richardson to the outside, Flowers on the other end of the formation. Throw the screen out in the flat to Clark, and he'll be submarined right at the line of scrimmage. Well executed initially by the Oilers, but Hillsdale stayed at home and didn't get fooled. No gain, 2nd and 10. Blocking back up, Clark to the left. He'll get the straight handoff and hammer the middle of the line and push forward inside the 20 to the 18. Pick up of 4, 3rd and 6 coming up for Findlay. Burton and Kudla in on the stop. Schrader will check in as the extra receiver. Be a 5-receiver package here, empty backfield. Flowers and Schrader to the left. Brown, McLaughlin, and Richardson to the right. Wensler in the empty backfield. Has time, batted in the air, and then wisely just slammed to the ground by one of the offensive linemen for the Oilers. That was Michael Jarrell, who realized it needed to get to the ground and get there quick. And the Oilers, after the outstanding kick return, will bring on the field goal team with Austin Snyder. This will be spotted down at the 25. So a 35-yard attempt. Snap back, spot down, the kick is up, has plenty of leg, and it is through the uprights, and the Oilers got the deficit to just 1, 14-13. Chargers lead it. Back in a moment on WLFC.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, We need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
That set that whole thing up. Now the Oilers kick it away. High spinner, a little on the short side. Fielded at the 10. And looking to find a seam. Avoids a tackle in the back. Flag comes flying in at the 25, and that's in the neighborhood of what would make you think hold. But let's sort out and see what the officials say it was.
During your return, holding, return team number 54, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
So they say it happened right about the 25-yard line, so take it back to the 15 after the 10-yard step-off. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Chargers there. Now we'll see what adjustments the defense has made. 2 wideouts to the near side, single to the top. Bring the man in motion across, and we got a flag. We got another false start.
False start.
Yep.
Offense, number 72.
So turned it into 1st and 15. Got the center, Jack McCarthy. When you get the center, that's when you're doing something. He apparently is on a different track than everybody else. Two to the left, one to the right. Again, put a man in motion across his Foos. Fake the handoff, quick throw on that slant again, and completes it to Foos. Oilers limit it to about 11-yard gain as he takes back what was lost on the penalty plus another 6. So 2nd and 4 after that. One wide out to each direction, tight end on each end of the line. Oilers shuffle the front. Eisen under center, pitches it. Robinson strung out, breaks one tackle, but he won't break the rest of them. It's going to be about a yard gain. Logan Spire there to finish things off. Got a little help as well from Caldwell. And also from Craig. So 3rd and 2 here for the Chargers. Oilers have given up very little in the run game here, but the short control passing game has given them some fits. Tight ends all over the place. One wide out to the top of the formation. And I think we got another false start. And we do. So now all of a sudden this becomes 3rd and about 7.
5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So the Oilers kept shuffling down on that defensive front, and it caused a little bit of movement on that offensive front. They'll change out personnel, take out a couple of tight ends, bring back in the receivers. Turns into a 3-receiver set, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Tesla, who's been the big target here, out here to the near side. Fake the handoff. Eisen rolls, throws it out in the flat to Foos. He avoids a tackle and gets the 1st down. If the Oilers can just tackle him at the point of the catch, they force a punt, but went in out of control, not able to secure the tackle, and it becomes a 1st down for the Chargers. So fresh set of downs. 2 receivers to the near side, tight ends on either end of the line. Oilers showing pressure, handoff, and finding a seam, breaking it to the outside is Robinson, still carrying would-be tacklers out near the midfield stripe. Going to mark him down around his own 48. Harris on the stop, but not before another Charger 1st down. Oilers late to get in position, but Chargers wait for him. One wide out, a bunch of tight ends. Oilers showing pressure up the middle. Pitch it to Robinson. He'll come out to the near side. Good blocks in front, a stiff arm, a second stiff arm, and he's going to have another first down. And actually that time it wasn't Robinson, that time it was Hissam. And that was just putting more helmets out there than the Oilers could handle. Two receivers to the right, single on the near side. That's Tesla. And it was a direct snap to Foos, the halfback, and he continues to rug his way inside the Oiler 40 and down to the 37, about a 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5, and right now the Chargers just dictating to the Oiler defense what they want to do. Chargers in no hurry, leading at 14-13. Clock running, 9:22 left here in the third quarter. Plenty of time left. So the defense going to have to find a few more stops. Play action. Eisen, middle screen, executed perfectly. And Robinson still on his feet, rambles his way down to about the Oiler 20-yard line. Mark it as the 21. Right now the Chargers hitting all the right buttons. String 3 receivers all to the left for the Chargers. Put Robinson to the right of Eisen. He'll take the handoff. Will Robinson tries to power sweep it, gets the corner turned, and takes it down around the 10. And all of a sudden, the Chargers, who could not run the ball in the first half, are running it at will right down the Oilers. First and 10 again from the Oiler 10-yard line. They actually mark it as the 11, so they can get a first down. Handoff. Robinson started it right, then slammed it back in towards the middle. Short pickup. Call it 2nd down and 8. Charles Omame checks back in for the Oilers on that defensive front. One to the right, two to the left. Eisen rolls to the top, looking end zone and just wide of his target. Good route run by Williams. He turned it in and then quick out and had position, but the throw by Eisen just a little bit wide. So 3rd and 8. ODU continues to pour it on against the Cavaliers, 42-3 early in the third quarter. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Rolling is Eisen. Looks, now throws back to the middle. Complete. Knocked to the ground almost immediately inside the 5 at the 4. Harris on the hit. Call it 4th and about 2. Oilers run somebody on late and now need to get the other man off. And now do. Now there's nobody to cover the outside receiver here. There's nobody outside, and the Oilers have to burn the timeout. Nobody was within 15 yards of Tesla, leading receiver in the game. And the Oilers have to burn the timeout. Rob Keys is furious about the situation as the Oilers tried to substitute personnel very late in that and left them in a bad situation. 6:48 left here in the third. We'll keep it here. Oilers go back on the road for the final road contest of the season. Head over to Canton to take on the Walsh Cavaliers. That'll be at Canton Glen Oak High School. We'll have that coverage for you. Hope you'll make plans to join us. That's another noon kickoff, as it's noon kickoffs the rest of the way out for Findlay. And then the Oilers will finish up the regular season here at home with 2 matchups back-to-back. Ashland on the 6th and Tiffin on the 13th of November. Ashland up 14-7 on Lake Erie, and KWC the early lead on Tiffin at the end of the first quarter, 7-0. Thanks to Ron Knopf back in the studio, keeping me updated. Tight ends all over the place. One single wide out, and now we get a flag.
Timeout.
And so the Oilers, out of a timeout, had to burn another timeout because they had the wrong personnel in. Or couldn't get aligned. I'm not sure what it was, but Rob Keys is absolutely furious right now on a big 4th and 2 situation. So they talk it over on the sideline some more. Now both units will head back out there. Two receivers to the left. Again, a tight end on either end of the line. And Foos is running this as a wildcat, looking to pick his way, and I don't know if he got the first down or not. He certainly didn't get the end zone. It's going to depend on the spot. Remember, near the 1, they can have a first down. And it's all going to depend on the spot. And that spot looks a little short. And the official agrees and says it's Oiler football. So a big stop. Oilers had to burn a couple of timeouts to get there, but they get the result. Is Hillsdale not able to add on? And now they need to focus the offense, get out of the shadows of their own goalpost here, and see if they can put some points on the board and take a lead. Trailing by 1, 14-13. So the officials are still huddled around the football conferencing, despite the fact the Hillsdale defense came out.
Officials timeout for measurement.
Okay, how are they going to measure when they've already moved the sticks back the other direction? This is an embarrassment for officials right here, because they moved the sticks the other direction. How are you going to possibly accurately measure whether it was a first down the other direction? And now they all go over to the far sideline to talk. The ball is shy of the 1 yard line, so and they needed to get the 1 for the first down, so I'm not sure what all of this is about. So officials still conferencing over with Keith Otterbein over on the far sideline. And we're not getting any updates here as our crew, led by Matthew Clark, see if he gives us an update. Well, apparently we decided we're not going to measure, and I think that's largely because they can't. They'd already moved the sticks. So, again, not a shining day for the men in black and white. Handoff, and pushing it out across the 5 to about the 6-yard line there. Garrett Clark on the carry. Went behind Logan Bailey. Logan Bailey was just road paving there, taking out a defensive lineman and a linebacker. 4-yard pickup, 2nd down and 6. 1 wide out to the top, 2 to the near side. Delay handoff. That's Lynch, and Lynch takes it out across the 10. That's going to set up a 3rd down at about 2 now for the Oilers. So the Oilers stay with 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the top. Lynch in the backfield, blocking fullback up in front. Winsler the give. And Oilers, I don't think are going to get it. Going to get it to the 11. They're going to be about a yard shy here. And the Oilers will have to punt it away. So Snyder on to punt it away. Snyder hits one, high one, fair catch is called and made at the Oiler 44-yard line. So the Oilers managed to get it out of the immediate shadow, not able to get a first down after forcing the turnover on downs. And the short punt will set the Chargers up right back on the doorstep. Three receivers all go to the right. Tight end on the left end of the line. Rolling to the receiver's side is Eisen. Hit it as he throws, but he completes it. And literally the receiver will give a piggyback ride to Rashad Craig out of bounds.
Number 17 for Hillsdale's helmet came off on the play and must leave the game for 1 down.
So Eisen lost his helmet. He has to step out of the game for a play. So I'm guessing Foos is going to go Wildcat again here. It was a 9-yard pickup on the previous play, so 2nd and 1. Foos as the quarterback. He's just going to run straight ahead and burrows his way for a first down to the Oiler 33. Not sure why the clock's, they're going to move it, they're going to hold it while they're moving the sticks. Now it moves, 4:24 and counting. Two receivers to the left. Eisen under center with tailback deep behind. Eisen back to throw, looks, throws it to his back. And the Oilers rally to the football. Very short pickup for Robinson. Brant's a fourth there. And Trombetti. Call it a pickup of 1, 2nd and 9. One wide out to each side. Couple of tight ends in there. Eisen, straight drop. Pressure, gets hit late. Tipped and intercepted by the Oilers. Putting on the return and getting it back out to about the 18-yard line. That's Kajana Caldwell with the pick.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer.
That's a horrible call. That's another horrible call by this officiating crew, who's been absolutely a joke. He got hit as he was releasing the football. There's nothing late or terrible about that. That's just horrible. Wipe out the interception. And instead puts the Chargers right back in the red zone. Well, I can pretty much guarantee you Coach Keys will not be sending any of these officials a Christmas card this season. One wide out each way, and again, it's a couple tight ends. Handoff. Bounce to the near side. Breaks one tackle and drives it to about the Oiler 10-yard line. And there's something after the whistle's over that should have been flagged and, of course, is not. The Oiler offensive linemen continue to rough up the Hillsdale linemen continue to rough up the Oiler defensive linemen 5-6 seconds after the whistle blown, and nothing with the official watching it. 2nd down and 3. Wide out each way. Long count by Eisen. Fakes the give, throws the quick slant, incomplete, and we're going to get another pass interference call. The receiver engaged that contact. He created that contact, and the official's going to reward him.
Pass interference. Defense number 0. Foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic.
And they called it on a player who wasn't even on the field. They just called the penalty on a player who wasn't even on the field. Because 0 is Irvin Basenji, a defensive lineman, and that happened in the deep secondary. So 1st and goal from the Oiler 2. Tight formation all the way around. No wideouts, just tight ends and a running back deep. Robinson gets the handoff, and he'll be stacked up and driven back. He gets to the 1, apparently, according to the officials. Looked like he got hit right at the line of scrimmage, but clock continues to move. 2:10. Oilers' only points of the quarter, a field goal that has them within 1, but Hillsdale threatening to change that right now. 2nd and goal. Backs in the eye, and Eisen's just going to try to ruck over, and it looked, well, yep, there it is, touchdown. Lined up the stacked eye, tight ends all over the place, and they just rugby scrummed it over into the end zone. So the roughing the passer call, which was mythology at best, comes back and bites the Oilers. Bring on the extra point team. Spot is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 1:53 left in the 3rd quarter. Chargers establish an 8-point advantage, 21-13. Back in a moment on WLFC.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
The Chargers, 6 plays, 44 yards. Eisen takes it in from 1 out Took just 2 minutes and 55 seconds off the clock, but you throw that in with the previous drive and then the 3 and out by the Oilers, and it takes up almost the entire third quarter. High short kick, fair catch caught and made by Finley. So bring it out to the 25 after the fair catch by Rule. See how the Oiler offense decides to attack this. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 up top. Quick little throw out in the flat, complete to Tanner Schrader. Tanner sidesteps a man, turns it up for extra yardage into Hillsdale territory, and finally out of bounds inside the 45. Spot him out of bounds at the 43 of the Chargers. Tanner continues to add to his total. First and 10, Finley, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Lynch in to the right. Fake the handoff, quick throw, complete. Wrapped up and whistled down is Marlon Richardson after getting it to the 35 of the Chargers. About an 8-yard pickup, sets up a 2nd and 2. Schrader 5 catches, 109 yards on the day. Richardson now, that's his 3rd catch for almost 40. Two to the left, 1 to the right are the receivers. Look, wants to go up top, looking for Jacob Brown, and are they going to say no on the catch, but he gets the pass interference call. Jacob almost secured that. He one-handed it and tried bringing it in his body, but as he spun to the ground, it kind of squirted out on him. Good effort, though. But they'll get the first down on the penalty. Takes it to the 20 where it'll be 1st and 10. Again, Oilers trailing by 8, 21-13. One receiver each side. Blocking fullback in there, tight end on the right end of the line. Winsler back, wants to go to the end zone, looking for Flowers, and it's overthrown. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. Check Aiden Eubanks out, bring in the extra receivers. Riggerman will go out as well. Looks like the Oilers are going to go a 4 receiver package here. Richardson, McLaughlin, and Schrader go from the outside to the inside to the left side. Flowers, single receiver on the right. Winsler pump fakes once, throws, and high and outside. Got hit as he was trying to release that one. Incomplete, so the Oilers looking at 3rd and 10. .28 seconds left here in the third quarter, so plenty of time here for the Oilers, who come into this one atop the GMAC standings. The only undefeated team. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Handoff on the delay. Lynch turns the corner, fights his way up, takes it down to about the 17. That's going to be a good 7 yards shy of a first down. And now do you kick the field goal to get within 5, or do you continue to persist? And they might let the quarter end and decide during the intermission, so to speak. And they will. End of the third quarter. Chargers lead at 21-13. Back in a moment on WLFC.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself. The rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
UFTV is your university and community TV station.
Thanks. Welcome back, and the Oilers are going to try the field goal here from 35 yards out. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So 3 seconds into the fourth quarter, Oilers cut the deficit down to 21-16. Take a look at some of the numbers at the end of the third quarter. Total offense, Hillsdale 365 yards on 52 plays. Oilers 46 plays for 276 yards. Derek Lynch rushing 75 yards to lead the Oilers. Winsler 13-26, has the one interception, has been sacked once as well for 171 yards. Schrader, the leading receiver, with 109 yards. Look at the other side. Robinson is picking things up in the running game. 14 carries, 65 yards, as they found some success running the ball here in the second half. Eisen, the quarterback, is 19-26. He has 2 touchdowns, an interception, and has been sacked 3 times here on the day. Leading receiver is Tesla with 115 yards on 4 catches. He has one of the 2 touchdowns, Foos the other. Oilers kick it off. High kick into the end zone, and they'll take the knee, bring it out to the 25. That last drive, 6 plays, 58 yards, took 1 minute and 56 seconds. And Snyder's second 35-yard field goal of the day, 3rd field goal overall. And throw in the extra point. He's putting himself in the running for player of the special teams player of the week honors at this rate. Hillsdale comes out, 3 receivers to the near side, single up top. Eisen back, throws the quick check down to Foos. He'll be shut down after the short pickup. Ball came out late, and the official says forward progress was stopped. That may be, but you hadn't blown the whistle would be my only argument against that. And an injured Oiler.
Officials timeout for an injured defensive player.
14:34 remaining here. And I believe that's one of the DBs, and the Oilers already a little thin in that territory as well. Reigning Defensive Player of the Week, Jeremiah Jackson, wasn't able to go today. And so you hope this is nothing serious for the Oilers here. We're going to go ahead and take a 30-second timeout. Oilers trail 21-16. Back in a moment on WLF.
Why do you want to go to college? To become something more? To find your line and go beyond it? To make someone's life better? To start on a path to a productive career? That's why the University of Findlay is here. Since 1882, a community of passionate learners, inspiring the best in each other.
UFTV is your university and community TV station.
Welcome back out to Donnell Stadium, and the Oiler in question continue to be worked on. It looks like it might be a cramp they're trying to work out of that leg. And so he's still down and out. He's going to get up, and it looks like he's going to trot right off. It looks like he's going to be okay. That was Marquise Stokes, that star backer position for the Oilers. Was a 4-yard pickup on the pitch and catch to Foos. Brings up a 2nd and 6 from their own 29-yard line. Eisen under center. Pitch. And brought down in the backfield for a loss. Charles Omame worked his way through, wrapped him up, and brought him down. And loss of a couple brings up a 3rd and 8. Big chance here for this Oiler defense to get off the field here, get it back in the hands of the offense, give them a chance to retake the lead. Logan Spire checks in to the Oiler lineup. And I think Vernon Williams also. Bring a man in motion from the top of the formation to the near side. Rolling that way is Eisen, looking long and caught it. First down. All the way out near midfield. And again, Oilers were sitting in that zone, and they just ran a man between the two layers of the zone, and Eisen, who had plenty of time, just floated it out there. And they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 49. Two receivers to the near side, one up top. Bring the man in motion is the tight end. Hand off to the halfback out of the slot. Not a lot there. Matter of fact, just going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Will Hissam. And in on the stop for the Oilers was Bransford. 2nd and 10 coming up. Two to the top. Stack a couple of guys on the right slot, a couple of tight ends. Now bring the inside receiver in motion to the same side. Play action fake, middle screen, batted down and intercepted. And the Oilers are going to return it for the touchdown. Trombetti. And a defensive score is going to give the Oilers the lead, 22-21, with an extra point attempt coming. They were trying to set that middle screen, and that entire defensive front came, batted it, and I'm pretty sure it was Trombetti, hauled it in, and then took it the distance for the Oiler touchdown. Now the question is, do the Oilers go 1 here to make it a 2-point lead, or do they go 2 to make it a 3? And I think and it looks like they're going to line up to go for the 2-point conversion here. It is Trombetti who officially returned at 35 yards for the touchdown. Rolling to his right is Winsler. Looks, throws backside corner, and incomplete. So it stays a 1-point advantage for the Oilers, 22-21, 12-17 left in the game. Back in a moment on WLFC.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself. The rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens.
On the Hillsdale Chargers, 35-yard interception return by Trom Betty. Tried throwing to the end zone on the two-point conversion and incomplete. So the Oilers with a 22-21 lead. Kick away, and the kickoff will push the return man 5 yards deep into the end zone where he'll catch it, take his knee, and bring it out to the 25-yard line. So that's going to go down as a second interception on the day for Eisen. You got to give credit to Hillsdale. Coach talked about it. This is a team that is never going to quit, that's never going to be out of a ball game, and that certainly has shown here. So they've given the Oilers through 3+ quarters all they want to deal with. But now trailing again, this time by 1. Eisen takes the snap, rolls to the 3 receiver side, throws the quick out, breaks a tackle, and has a first down out to his own 39-yard line. That's Tesla again. And we got another injured Oiler, this time face down right over here on the sideline. Can't see who it is, and I don't want to hypothesize. 12:09 here, and the Oiler defense is going to have to continue to put up some stops here. And the offense is going to have to work out some kinks as well. They've moved the ball, as we've said. They've just struggled finishing drives. And you give credit to Snyder, who's perfect on the day on field goals, but as Rob Keys will tell you, you can't keep settling for 3. You got to put some of those into the end zone. Again, Oilers on the road for the final time of this regular season. Next week, heading to Canton to take on the Walsh Cavaliers. That was Rashad Craig, and he's up and off on his own power. Looks to be okay, and we'll keep an eye to see if he ends up back out there in the near future here. Bunch of tight ends in there. One wide out on the near side. Handoff goes up the middle. Bounces off one tackler, but won't bounce off the rest. A whole boatload of Oilers in there. Omame in there. Also in there for the Oilers was Jordan Grimes. Johnny Harris got in there as well from his secondary position. Second down and 10. Now they'll spread it back out. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and back into the pistol formation again. Low snap. Eisen collects it. Loads up, throws, and that's high and off the mark. No chance. Pretty good coverage as well by Brennan Perry. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 situation. See if the Oilers can get the stop here and force the punt. Sinji, Omame, Rockhold lined up as 3 down linemen here. Now they'll walk up the linebacker as well. Play action, lets it fly, and nope, did not catch that. That was out of bounds. Oh my God, they're going to spot that he was in bounds. There's no way. Well, going to be enough for a first down. Again, they set down in that soft spot. It was not a good throw, and it happened right in front of me, and I looked for all the world that the receiver dropped his foot down out of bounds, but officials saw it differently, so you move on. First fresh set of downs for the Chargers. Wide out to each side. Play action, throw the check down. And upended after a short pickup. Johnny Harris on the tackle. 1 yard pickup to the Oiler 47. Drew McCluckey checks in. Basinji comes out. As the Oilers keep rotating those defensive linemen. One wide out to the top and playing 10 yards off of him. Wide out here on the near side as well. Eisen back, throws across the middle to the drag, and the tight end is going to push it to the Oiler 39, bring up a 3rd and 1. Harding, who's been eating the Oilers up on that exact route right there. Rotate some more personnel on that front. Alex Melfi in. Couple receivers on the left, a couple of tight ends stacked on the near side. Now bring an inside receiver in motion, send him across to the right. Play action. Looks, throwing long, has a man and not able to hold on. And on 4th and 1, Keith Otterbrand's got a little bit of a choice here. His team's been running the ball effectively here in the second half at times. They are in plus territory. And their short passing game has been pretty close to untouchable. Oilers shuffle the whole defensive front, but they do it late. Now they get into position. Quarterback's going to keep it, and he's going to get the first down. Not going to get a whole lot more. So now they'll finally whistle it down. We talked about this in the high school game last night. 3 years ago, officials were blowing down plays like that almost immediately. And now we've gone the other way to where we let things go 3, 4, 5 seconds. And you have situations like the Oilers had the late fumble here that then the official said no, but the whistle hadn't blown, and it just leads to a lot of confusion. Fresh set of downs, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Ball at the Oiler 37. Move the tight end across and send him back. Wants to throw the screen? No. He's going to instead change it up to the top. Nobody near the receiver. Touchdown. Everybody went with the inside receiver. And nobody followed Tesla, who, by the way, is the leading receiver on the game for the Chargers, and nobody was within 7 yards of him when that ball was let go. So the Chargers take the lead right back, 27-22. And it looks like they might go for 2 here as well to try to make it a 7-point advantage. Make it 29 is what I was originally going to say. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Eisen back, looks, throws late, batted down. Nice defensive play. Dropped into space and knocked that one away. That was Gray Bransford with the play. So it's a 5-point Hillsdale lead with 8:19 left in the game. Back in a moment on WLFC.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself. The rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
This time 9 plays, 75 yards, took 3 minutes and 58 seconds. Capped off with that 37-yard pass from Eisen to Tesla. High, short, and fielded by the Oilers right at the 25 with a fair catch, and that's where they'll take over. 1st and 10. And Eisen, a young man who started off the season as a third-string quarterback, currently 26 of 36, 374 yards, 3 touchdown passes. He has been sacked 3 times and has 2 interceptions, but right now has his team in position to defeat the Oilers. Here comes the Oiler offense. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, rolling to the 3 receiver side and throws a pick. Threw it right into the hands of the defensive back. Badly underthrown. That's Alex Anschutz. The linebacker just dropped off, and that looked a lot like the first interception by Matt, to be honest with you. And returns it all the way down. Still waiting on the spot here. There they spot it at the 8 of the Oilers. So 1st and goal at the 8. Tight formation, single receiver, handoff, Robinson trying to string it out. And not a lot there. We're going to give him forward progress. He might got it to 2. Logan Spire and Gray Bransford leading the charge. They will spot it at the 6, so a pickup of 2, 2nd and goal from there. Two receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And sort of that Wildcat look again, that time with Foose again. And he might get to the 5. Little to no gain there, and it's 3rd and goal from wherever they spot it here. And they'll spot it back at the 6. If the Oilers can stop them here, I would expect the Chargers to go ahead and take the field goal attempt, make it an 8-point advantage. But right now, 3 receivers all to the right. Rolling that way is Eisen. Looking, throws late, touchdown. And Tesla again. So 33-22, and an extra point attempt coming up here. And now the Oilers find themselves trailing by 2 scores with 6:48 left. So here's Lee. Keep in mind also the Oilers burned 2 timeouts right at the beginning of the second half. Extra point is good. And your score, the Chargers 34, the Oilers 22. We'll be back in a moment on WLFC.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself. The rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream. There was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Welcome back to Donnell Stadium, the Oilers. The challenge gets a little bit more difficult. And again, the ball is blown off the tee, so they'll Are they going to make him bring the holder out again? Not yet. So the interception, and after that, a 3-play, 8-yard drive. It took just a minute, 23 seconds. Again, this time from Foos to Tesla, it says. I thought that was Eisen who threw it. We'll double check that later. Skips out of bounds. That'll be a procedure call. And I'm guessing the Oilers will take it at the 35. So the Oilers will have it 1st and 10 at the 35, but again, trailing by 12 here, 34-22. Garrett Clark will be in the backfield. Oilers will go 4 receivers, 2 to the top, 2 to the near side. Rigerman the inside of the 2 on the near side here, along with Flowers. Now the officials walking in again with something going on. We got officials who can't even place footballs at this point. They moved it from one side to the other. Now we're ready to go. Now the Oilers will change the formation. Bring Richardson and Schrader to the near side. Flowers and Rigerman to the right. Throws the quick, complete, and then forced out of bounds immediately with a big hit right near the 40-yard line. Mark it the 39, 4-yard pickup. Two again to the near side, single up top. Winsler airing it out, looking for Schrader. Tanner pulls it down into Hillsdale territory, right at the 40-yard line. Good route by Tanner. Tanner now will switch to the other side of the formation with Rubin. Leave Marlon as the single receiver on the near side. Throws it out. Complete to Rubin. Inside the 25 at the 24. Brought down immediately at that spot by Herzog, but not before another Oiler first down. Clock continues to move. 6 minutes left here. Oilers trail by 12. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Low snap. Winsler breaks the pocket. Now he's going to run. And he's going to skip out, I think, just shy of the first down. But a good positive play. So they say he steps out at the 15, needs the 14 for the first down. But they have the clock running despite the fact he ran out of bounds on his own. Three to the left, 1 to the right. Hand off to Clark. And Garrett has a first down near the 11-yard line. Herzog comes up for the stop, but not before the first down. Stop the clock long enough to move the sticks. The Oilers right back to the line of scrimmage. Oilers got to run a man off. That's Jacob Brown. Now they're ready. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Winsler flushed again. Pulled down after a short pickup as he takes it inside the 10-yard line. 5:04 left in the fourth. ODU 56, Walsh 17. KWC up at the half, 21-7 on Tiffin, and Ashland and Lake Erie tied at 28. Winsler back, looks, moves to his right, throws back to the middle, incomplete. Tried checking down to Clark. Now the Oilers are looking at a 3rd and 9 situation here. And obviously you got to have the end zone. So 4 down territory here, still 4:36 left. Schrader, Richardson to the left. Riggerman will go to the right slot. Flowers out wide to the right. Wilson to the left of Winsler. Back. Pressure comes. Throws it down the flat. Complete to Schrader. He gets into the end zone. Touchdown Oilers. And the Oilers cut the deficit down to 6. And they'll bring out Snyder for the extra point to make it a 5-point advantage. Vanderjack the holder. Snap back, spot down. The kick is up. And the kick is good. 4:31 left here. We're not done yet. 34-29. Chargers lead the Oilers. Back in a moment on WLFC.
Why do you want to go to college? To become something more? To find your line and go beyond it? To make someone's life better? To start on a path to a productive career? That's why the University of Findlay is here. Since 1882, a community of passionate learners, inspiring the best in each other.
Welcome back out to Donnell Stadium. 4:31 left in the game, and the Oilers trail, but just by 5 now at this point. And I think it looks like they're going to just go ahead and kick away here. But all of a sudden, Jonah Caldwell comes from the outside and comes up and says something to Austin Snyder, and now comes back to his position on the end. It looked like he was relaying a message from Coach Keys, and now Bransford says something to one of the other Oilers. They're going to go high, short, and a fair catch is called and made right around the 25. So now it's going to be up to the defense to get the football back in one way or another. That last drive, we don't have the last drive on this sheet. .431 left here. Two receivers to the top, one to the near side. That last drive, as we were saying, 8 plays, 65 yards, just took 2 minutes and 17 seconds, 10-yard pass to Schrader from Winsler. And a good job on the pitch and catch, about an 8-yard pickup, and even better in that process was Tesla was smart enough to keep his feet and stay in bounds to keep that clock running. Give him credit for understanding the situation. Brings up a 2nd and 2. Again, remember the Oilers just the one timeout remaining. Two receivers strung to the left. Eisen goes under center. Pitch it back to Robinson, and Robinson's going to be brought down right around the line of scrimmage. Bring up a 3rd and 2. Bransford, amongst others, working on the stop. Three and out would be exactly what the doctor orders here. Eisen in the pistol. Wide out each side, slot a tight end. Back to his right. Rolling out, pitches it, and first down. Read it all the way, just option pitch. And he took it out himself pretty far, and then when they finally closed on him, the pitch out to Robinson, and he turned it up and took it across the 35 to the 36. Now, what I'm not sure I understand is why Keith Otterbein is out on the field here. He's out at the numbers. Now a step back. 1st and 10, fresh set of downs. Clock continue to move, 2:30 and counting. Handoff, Robinson. And maybe gets a yard. 2nd and, well, they're not moving the sticks, so let's keep it at 2nd and 10. Well, at this rate, another first down, and it's going to be academic. Two wideouts to the top of the formation. Watch that big tight end on the right end here. Under center is Eisen. Brings his receiver in motion across, so it's one wideout each way. Handoff again, Robinson. And Robinson stopped after a short pickup. Clock still moves. 1:30 left, and they can take it under a minute here on this 3rd down play. Switching out players late. Now the Oilers will switch personnel late. They go wholesale changes on that defensive front. Never got set. Keeper and stuffed out. Maybe a half-yard pickup, and now the Oilers will burn the timeout with 54 seconds left and a 4th and 7 coming up. We got flags thrown all over God's creation. Now here's my thing. Hillsdale substituted, so you have to let the Oilers substitute. And Hillsdale's pointing it's against Finley. I'm not sure why the Oilers changed out personnel.
Illegal substitution. Defense.
How is it illegal?
5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
The officials missed this because Hillsdale changed out 4 personnel. Once they change out personnel, they have to let Finley change out personnel. And the officials totally missed the fact that they changed personnel. This is unbelievable. Keith Otterbein was moving personnel out and nobody paid attention. This should be 4th down and the Oilers should be receiving a punt. And instead they're going to get another 3rd down play because the officials completely botched this play. And this isn't like it's the only thing they've missed today. So a 5-yard penalty makes it now 3rd and a long 2 here. This is unbelievable. One wide out to the top, 2 to the near side. Handoff, Robinson, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Now the Oilers will burn the timeout with just 27 seconds left.
Timeout. Finley.
Keep it here. Again, the Oilers back on the road for the final time in the regular season as they make the trip over to Canton to take on the Cavaliers. 12 o'clock kickoff, 11:40 the pregame is when we'll have it here on 88.3 WLFC. And then they'll come back and play the final 2 regular season games here at home. It's a final, ODU over Walsh, 56-7. Still at the half, 28 apiece between Lake Erie and Ashland. KWC up 21-7 early in the 3rd quarter on Tiffin. Marlon Richardson will go back and field the punt. Snap back, rolling out, trying to eat a little time, and then kicks it away. Takes a hop, a skip, and a roll. Clock continues to run. An Oiler needs to get in and down that football. And they don't, and so another 7 seconds goes off, and now a flag is going to get thrown on top of it. We're going to get a sideline warning.
Sideline warning.
Yep. At this point, I don't think Rob Keys much cares. So the Oilers are going to get a couple of plays here. And short of a defensive penalty, are going to need some help. So Flowers split wide to the near side, 3 receivers to the right. Wensler back, steps up, airs it out, looking long and overthrows it just a little bit. He's looking for Richardson out. Hillsdale had rolled coverage over there as well. 7 seconds remaining. Again, Chargers lead it 34-29 on the Oilers. See how the Oilers line this one up. Again, go 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Clark in the backfield. Showing pressure on the top of the formation. Wensler breaks away, rolls out, throws it back towards the middle. It's going to be tapped. Nope. Is that going to be called incomplete? They're going to say he never caught it. They're going to say, and I agree with him, I don't think that he ever caught it. He just kind of batted it like a volleyball. And that'll run out the remainder of the clock. And the Hillsdale Chargers come into Donnell Stadium and upset the Oilers 34-29. And we'll recap it after this 2-minute timeout on 88.3 WLFC. Yep. Thank you. Welcome back out to Donnell Stadium. The final score, the Chargers continue to be an anomaly, up and down all season. And for their purposes, they were up today and get a 34-29 upset victory over the University of Findlay. Let's talk how we got to it. Oilers got on the board first. Garrett Clark's 5-yard touchdown run capped off an 8-play, 60-yard drive that took just 3 minutes and 36 seconds. After the Snyder kick, Findlay was on top 7-0. Hillsdale, though, answers back a 21-yard touchdown pass from Eisen to Foos. The kick by Lee after tied us up at 7 apiece. And then Hillsdale puts together, after a good Oiler punt, they put together an 86-yard drive that covered 2 plays. The 81-yard pitch, catch, and run between Eisen and Tesla. And then the extra point by Lee had them in front 14-7. Oilers just before the end of the half get a 42-yard field goal, capping off a 9-play, 60-yard drive to get it to 14-10. And that's how we went to the locker room at the half. In the third quarter, Oilers on that opening possession get a great kickoff return, but only manage 4 yards on the ensuing drive and get an Austin Snyder 35-yard field goal to make it 14-13 at that point. But then Hillsdale put together a 6-play, 44-yard drive, capped off with the quarterback keeper from a yard out, and after the kick, it was 21-13 in favor of the Chargers. Oilers answer back with a 6-play, 58-yard drive, but again, it ends with a field goal instead of the touchdown, makes it 21-16. Then the Oiler defense steps up and gets the defensive score, a 35-yard interception return by Trombetti. The 2-point attempt fails, but the Oilers are in front by 1, 22-21. But then the answer right back by the Chargers. 9-play, 75-yard drive, 37-yard pass from Eisen to Tesla. They try to go for 2. That fails, 27-22 at that point. But then the Oilers on the ensuing drive, an interception thrown gives them the short field. They take 3 plays to go 8 yards, finish it off with a 6-yard pass from Tesla to Foos, and that's going to end up to Tesla from Foos, although I think that really was Eisen. Either way, though, the kick by Lee was good, made it 34-22. Oilers weren't done, though. Put together a nice quick drive. 8 plays, covered 65 yards in just 2 minutes and 17 seconds. And Winsler throws a 10-yard touchdown pass to Tanner Schrader. And the kick after by Snyder got us to 34-29. Oilers went ahead and kicked away. They eventually, after some drama and confusion and my opinion only, mistake by the officials, Oilers ended up getting it back with short time. Tried a couple of long balls down the field without luck, and the time runs out at that point and gives us our final score of 34-29. Hillsdale wins the first down battle 25-17. Hillsdale manages 93 rushing yards on 37 carries. The Oilers 119 on 23 carries. Passing yardage, big day for Eisen, 388 yards to 222 for the Oilers. Matter of fact, when you look at the quarterback numbers, I'm pretty sure that other one goes to Eisen as well. I believe it's 28 of 38. For 3 touchdowns, 382 yards. Did have the 2 interceptions, did Eisen, and was sacked 3 times. Winsler, 17 of 34, 1 touchdown. He had 2 interceptions as well, and he was sacked the 1 time in this one as well. You took a look at total offense, 481 yards for the Chargers, and that's going to be the big difference maker here. Oilers 57 plays, 341 yards. Derek Lynch had 75 yards on 11 carries. Garrett Clark 30 on 8 carries. On the other side, Robinson 61 yards. 61 yards on 22 carries. And take a look at Tesla, a huge day, 193 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. I can pretty much guarantee, pretty good chance he's going to be your GMAC Offensive Player of the Week. On the other side, Tanner Schrader, a good day, 7 catches, 140 yards. He had a touchdown on the day as well. Take a look at defensive numbers for the Oilers. Marquise Stokes, 12 tackles, including a sack, and that tackle for loss. Bransford had 11 tackles, 11 for Trombetti as well, and he had the interception return or fumble return, whatever they're calling that, for the touchdown as well to help the Oilers. We're going to take another 2-minute timeout. Hopefully we'll get Coach up here to talk some more about it. Again, 34-29, the final